Hi, welcome back to West Coast Geeks. I'm your host, Joaquin. Happy Turkey Day, people. You know who's with me?
What up, guys? It's Eric.
It's Eric. Indeed, if your first time watching this video, know this is going to be an ongoing series. You're like, wasn't the Monster Manual an ongoing series? Yeah, but it's going to come to an end, so you got to do another one, people. So,
Oh, the end.
a quick introduction to the Underdark, and I do mean quick because we're not going to go into that much details because the whole point of this is to is for you to think of some questions to ask us that you would like to learn from any era of D&D except fourth. Don't ask, or otherwise I'm just
Fourth
going to
doesn't
make it up.
exist.
so, um, the, so part one, here we go. We got a quote. Absent of light results in darkness. So what results from the absence of good? The Underdark is a place with very little of evil. Mordenkainen, famous wizard, leader of the Circle of Eight, Greyhawk. The reason why I put that in there and had to add Greyhawk because most people associate the Underdark with Forgotten Realms, and they should. But remember, second edition is when we got Forgotten Realms.
Yep.
So, Forgotten Realms, all you haters out there of early D&D, it's part of second edition. Drop the mic, we can go home now. but um,
Well,
so
Mordekainen's kind of pseudo quoting Nietzsche with that little quote.
yeah, so I asked Eric, I was like, "Hey, this is the video I want to do," and the first thing he thought of was Forgotten Realms, and
Yeah.
I don't blame people on that because when I first think of the Underdark taking form is the Forgotten Realms. No, the Underdark and the Drow is what made Forgotten Realms really popular. Take
Yeah.
away
I
that,
totally forgot Queen of the Spiders,
yeah,
dude.
you forget if you take away that, there is no Forgotten Realms. You can leave us. You can please leave a comment section.
Oh,
Please leave a comment in the comment
Richard
section on
Blackwood
that.
would beg to differ.
Yeah, I'd
What's his
like to. You
name?
know what? That just gives me another idea. That's a separate video we're gonna do here sometime. So,
Ooh, was it?
the modules descent into the depths of the earth, which we will be doing because it's part of first edition. These are the first modules that came out and formed the first super campaign. Introduces you to go into the Underdark. D2, the Shrine of the Kuatoa, are some of the major denizens or citizens of the Underdark. Besides that are just like um, organized creatures, monsters that are intelligent and form of civilization. And then get to like one of Eric's favorites, the Vault of the Drow.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and when we get to all three of these, uh, D1, we're going to be giving suggestions on how to do some things. But D3, when we do that, we're going to be doing a series of videos after that because we're going to help you flesh out um, the Vault of the Drow. That was one of the biggest complaints of the Vault of the Drow was they barely gave you any information. Yet
No, they
these are
waited for a second to do that.
yeah, and then these are the same people that say I don't want to run a module because I want to make up my own stuff.
Give me more.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, you can't win. Like in all these early modules, they talk about Gary Gygax talks about, look, I'm just giving you the skeleton, bare bones, and then you take it and do whatever the hell you want with it.
So
Uh,
that's what we're gonna do with you guys.
yep,
We're gonna give you the idea of what we're doing here, and then
you make this video your own by putting stuff in the comment section. What do you want it to develop in? Because I have some ideas, but sometimes people will come up with something and be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good question. Let's look that up and find out."
mhm.
So the Underdark is a vast network of underground caverns, tunnels underneath the surface, domains. The Underdark was not one giant cavern underground, but rather many huge networks of caverns and caves. As a result, it was not always possible to travel from one end of the Underdark to the other, The Underdark was divided into several domains that were similar to the continents of the world above. Just think about that, people.
I like that.
Yeah, while it was possible to travel from one place to another within a domain, separate domains tend to have very few passage linking them. This is like teleportation, which is very hard to do in the
Or
underground.
you have to go above ground and find another entrance to another side.
Which is probably would even be most likely another continent. Like
Mhm.
each continent on whatever fantasy world you're playing has its own Underdark, which is cool. And if you want to
That's
learn
really
know
cool,
more
yeah.
about that, leave that in the comments. How hard is it to travel through the Underdark? The Underdark's underground landscape varies from small subterranean fissures, almost impossible for adventurers to crawl through. Halfling goes, except for me, to wide expanses of deep water that hid coral caves, hollowed out sections of ice in which creatures lived, and places where fungus, bones, or even pure force formed caves. So we're gonna like all these topics that I'm doing right here, like the domains and travel. These are gonna be some of the topics we're gonna be hitting. So I just want to know what else you would like to know about the environment. The Underdark's environment varies vastly from the surface world, making an adventure through it a dangerous expedition. Just like trekking through a desert, adventurers traveling through the Underdark passages well prepared. See that guy in the very top in the fuzzy picture jumping to hoping that he makes that leap?
He's gonna make it.
Yeah.
I have faith in him.
Till he rolls that one.
You
Woo!
shut your mouth, Joaquin.
The Underdark was mainly without a source of light, save for the occasional luminous rocks or fungus. Large portions of it were also without food or water, making well stocked food supplies a must have when exploring uncharted terrain underground. Lack of light combined with a tomb like silence makes traveling something only for the strong hearted. The nerve wracking silence made even experienced adventurers grow agitated after a few days. Think about that. You ever
Yeah, I know.
traveled in a
Complete and utter
forest?
silence.
You ever traveled in a forest or walked down a street in the middle of the night and you don't hear any sounds?
Mhm. Imagine that for days.
And it's just eerie. And then when you do hear the slightest clang or something, it sometimes it'll make you jerk. Like, what the hell is that? Because
Mhm.
now you're like, I'm the only
Boogeyman's coming to
person out here
get you.
walking. What else is out here now? Then you hear
Mhm.
this meow, throw a rock at it, stupid cat.
Ah, we
So,
can't.
and then just like a deep dungeons, the air could grow stale and even poisonous in the Underdark. A lot of DMs don't use that. I do.
Mhm.
They're like, we know you do.
Yeah.
It could contain explosive gases from the underground, volcanic activity, or other deadly gases bubbling out of the deep fissures in the rocks. I definitely got to use that. Bad
Mhm.
air and poisonous fumes could collect in the portions of the tunnel and caves more or less isolated from main vaults and caverns. Siphon like tunnels holding waters could also trap these gases for a long time. Real quick note there was a mystery of a village that died near a lake that was close to a volcano, an
Yep.
inactive volcano. The eruption happened in the lake, which let out some poisonous gas, and I think it was like the equivalent of like carbon dioxide poisoning, and just wiped out most of the people in this small village. And for the longest time, they couldn't figure out what the hell came in there and killed them. It's a fun fact for you. Look that up.
Right?
All right, so the
'Cause
wrap
that
up.
was
Oh, go ahead.
no, that I believe that was in Africa.
Yeah, it was somewhere. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's like carbon dioxide or some bullshit.
All right, so here we go. The wrap up. What would you like to learn about the Underdark? And how often do you use it in your campaign, Eric?
Well, I've recently been working on a underground or underdark expansion. I'm gonna call it something different. I don't want to 'cause it's a whole homebrew world, but I love the Underdark. I love Drow. I love the underground. I love fungus and Zugtamoy and Jublex and everything that's down in there. So I'm working on that currently to use in either this campaign or a new one in my homebrew. I really like it.
Yeah, I gotta admit I'm pretty guilty of unless say I'm playing an adventure or a module. Um, I usually do not use the underground because most
Yeah,
of my
I think it
player
would be
characters
cool to
don't.
do like a full campaign in the Underdark. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be. So that's it, people. This is a quick video. Like,
Don't
it,
forget your questions below.
yeah, it's like a little bit over 10 minutes. I mean, Dallas will be like, "What?
What?
I
This
sat
is
down
great.
for this video."
I know. I got a snack for nothing.
So, please leave a comment down below. What would you guys like to learn? Happy Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble,
Happy
gobble.
Black Friday weekend sale. Hope you get to find what you want really cheap. And I hope you guys are enjoying these series of videos. If you do, leave a like and comment below and subscribe to help support the channel so other people can enjoy our content like you are, hopefully. Anything to add, Eric?
I'm looking forward to see what people come up with.
Indeed. All right,
If you
people.
want to go read an Underdark book.
Catch you later.
Later, guys.